let me ask you something. Be honest with yourself. You don't have to be honest with me, just be honest with yourself. When the verdict came down, guilty, all 34 counts, guilty. I know you were mad. Everyone was mad. Mad, maybe you were apoplectic, but everyone was some degree of mad. Maybe you were sad. That was kind of more where I come from. I'll get to that in a bit. But were you shocked? That's really what I want to know. Were you shocked? What? He didn't do anything. Were you shocked? And the reason I ask it is this. If you were shocked, if it in any way stunned you, you're not stupid, you're none of those things. That's not what I'm saying. But if it shocked you, then mentally, you're not prepared to live in the country you live in now. And this is what I mean by that. We have major portions of this country, not the whole thing, but major parts of this country are now fully controlled by evil people who want to do you harm. They want to do the country harm. Now, maybe I just said that and you said, well, yeah, I get that, Jesse. In that case, you're right where you need to be. Maybe when I just said that, these people want to do you harm, want to do the country harm. Maybe that made you, oh, I don't know about that. Maybe you even thought to yourself right when I said it, oh, no, that's a little too far. No, maybe a bad apple here or there, but no. If that's how you think, then you're not ready to live in this country and you need to get ready there. Nobody who watches this show regularly was surprised even that much by what happened in the Trump trial. My goodness, this is from over a year ago. I came on and told you all this. Donald Trump is in very serious trouble, legal trouble. Not because he did anything wrong, because we have parts of this nation now, New York City being one of those, that are wholly controlled by communists at every level. Oh, Jesse, but if it goes to trial, he'll be fine. Do you have any idea the percentage of Democrats versus Republicans in Manhattan where that trial is going to be held? Over 80% Democrats. Do you know that Democrats in this country do genuinely believe Donald Trump is Adolf Hitler? You think a jury of 12 is going to be made up of anyone but communist apparatchiks who've been dying to throw Trump against the wall forever? Donald Trump is in serious legal trouble. Told you it was coming. It's not about, I told you so. Why did I see that? If you saw it, why did you see it coming? Well, here's the difference between those of us who saw it coming and those who were shocked. I understand what we're dealing with. I understand and I accept who and what I'm dealing with. And unless you get to that place, you will be shocked by every new outrage. And this isn't exactly the first outrage. There have been a million. And I have news for you, it won't be the last outrage. There will be more outrageous things coming, corrupt things, evil things coming. And if you want to avoid being, I'm shocked, I can't believe that. If you want to avoid that, then it's time to grow up and accept who and what you're dealing with. You know what? Let's pause on all this. Let's give an example of that. Because it really is, it's the most critical thing in many ways in life when you're dealing with people, when you're dealing with friends, when you're dealing with enemies. It's everything. Figuring out who you're dealing with. Who is this person? What do they want? What are their motivations? What are they afraid of? If you can figure this out in your personal life, your business life, your political life, you will have it so much easier. And if you can't figure it out, then life is going to be a never-ending list of shocks for you. Shocked, stunned, outraged. I can't believe it. How could this happen? So, look, here's a little historical example, and then we'll get back to the Trump stuff. The third of the Punic Wars, just really quickly. Third of the Punic Wars were Rome versus Carthage, Hannibal and all that stuff. Well, Hannibal was the second Punic War, but let's talk about the third one really quickly. In the third Punic War, Rome wanted to wipe out Carthage. They gave speeches about it all the time. On the Senate floor, They would give speeches about how Carthage needs to be wiped out. Carthage needs to cease to exist. Carthage this, Carthage. Roman senators would give up and give speeches about it. So the Romans send some big shots down to Carthage, and they walk into Carthage, they kick in the front door, and they say, hey, Carthage, we need all your money. And we need you to turn in all your weapons. You're not allowed to have weapons anymore. And we also need your children. The children of all the high society people, you have to give them to us as hostages. Now, that moment was such a critical moment, because in that moment, Carthage had to understand what they were dealing with. If they didn't understand it, they were screwed. If they understood it, they had a chance. But Carthage, they didn't understand the Romans and what they wanted, what they really wanted. So the Carthaginians handed over all their children. They handed over all their weapons, all their ships, all their wealth, all their everything. And then they said, well, now you're going to leave us alone, right? And Rome said, my goodness, no, why would I do that? I have all your weapons and your children are mine too. Now you need to leave your city. And they were shocked. What? We can't. How could this happen? How could it happen? You didn't understand what you were dealing with. If you were shocked that Donald Trump was convicted of bogus charges in New York, you simply didn't understand Alvin Bragg. You don't understand communists. Alvin Bragg told you what he was going to do.
I did my job. We did our job. Many voices out there. The only voice that matters is the voice of the jury, and the jury has spoken.
He ran for office saying he was going to do it, and then he did it, and there's no reason to be shocked. Alvin Bragg is a committed communist. He's been put into that office in large part because of communists like George Soros, who want to destroy America, destroy America's right wing. Alvin Bragg was elected to destroy Republicans, promised he would destroy Republicans, and he got into office and destroyed a Republican. Or is it that shocking? Or are we on the right just stunned by the fact that there's actually people out there who fulfill their campaign promises? I think maybe that's what gets us, that's what stuns us so much on the right. Wait a minute, he's doing what he said he was going to do? That's shocking. And the right doesn't get it. Donald Trump has been the most legally persecuted politician in American history. I think we could probably safely say that. The man has been done wrong by every single level of the judicial system. Whether you're a Trump lover or a Trump hater, it's inarguable. And Trump just sat down for an interview. This is after the man was just convicted on 34 felony accounts. He's either facing probation, house arrest, or state prison in New York. And he was asked about the whole Hillary Clinton lock her up thing. This is what Donald Trump said, and I think this is revealing about our mentality.
You famously said regarding Hillary Clinton, lock her up. You declined to do that as president.
I beat her. It's easier when you win. And they all said lock her up. And I felt, and I could have done it, but I felt it would have been a terrible thing. And then this happened to me. And so I may feel differently about it. I can't tell you, I'm not sure I can answer the question. Hillary Clinton, I didn't say lock her up, but the people would all say lock her up, lock her up. Okay. Then we won. And I said pretty openly, I say, all right, come on, just relax. Let's go. We got to make our country great. Yeah. And it would have been, think of it, you lock up the wife of a president of the United States.
But they want to lock you up over $130,000 of an accounting thing. And
a perfectly stated accounting thing. But, you know, people also say, can you bring the country together? And the answer is yes. Success will bring the country together because I had it together.
No. We didn't come together. We're not going to come together. We are going to fight. We are in a fight now. Thankfully, for the most part, it's a nonviolent fight. Hopefully, the fight gets resolved in a nonviolent way. That's what I want. I hope that's what you want. But there's not going to be any coming together. Got elected last time. Hey, let's let bygones be bygones. After all, we got to get along. We got to come together. That's the right-wing mentality. The communist takes power and he figures out how to destroy his enemies. Setting aside whatever you think about any of this, there's only one side that's going to win if that's how we're going to play. These guys intend to use their power to utterly annihilate their political enemies, and these guys think that's really yucky. So they want to just, let's not do that because it would be mean. Well, I don't care which side you think are good guys or bad guys. We don't do nursery rhyme conservatism here. Let's exist in the real world. In the real world, the guys who intend to destroy their enemies are going to win.